also part of you is thinking of the viewer in the hall, and
Right.
okay, how would I react to this, and how would it sort of affect me? So it's a sort of a, I don't know, right brain, left brain kind of a thing. You can't really analyze it. But yeah,
Right.
I mean, I think to keep the audience in mind very much.
Yeah, because you have to subvert their expectations all the time. Like you
Yeah,
take them on a ride, and then you give them. They are also writing the story with you, and
yeah,
then you drop
they
them
write
somewhere.
they're making up a script, they're making up a script in their own heads, and our job actually, especially in the thriller, is like to direct the audience more than the actors. Okay, let them think
Oh,
this
interesting. Yeah.
kept here, this prop, okay, is it of any use, or is it like, so you have to pay attention in the movies. That is
Yeah.
for a more fulfilling experience. If you sort of watch it very lazily, you may miss a few things, and hence it affects your own perception of the movie.
But that's a very smart thing to do, to involve them in such a way that they will have to look at these finer details that you probably put clues for them also to
Yeah,
pick up.
I do that, but I've been to a few halls and I get aghast when I see people, coming in. The movie has begun 5, 7 minutes, 10 minutes back, and they're coming in with their popcorn, passing finding their seats, and I said, oh hell. So it's best not to go to the halls and watch. But I had to go in the initial days to check out whether the sound quality, technical aspects are all fine.
Right. So, of course, I've read reviews about Merry Christmas. I'll be watching it tonight, and it looks very interesting. And the fact that you also shot two films at the same time, which was in Tamil and Hindi, and the experience would have been exhausting also, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, yes, yes. I don't think I'll do it again. This kind of a two languages thing. The reason I did it, like I said in other interviews, is because I am a Tamilian and I have only lived in Maharashtra, actually, Bombay and
Right.
Pune. So
Yeah.
I've never lived in Chennai, though I've got a lot of relatives there. And so I had this little dream of making a film in my mother tongue.
Yes.
So here, sort of, I got an opportunity to try and do that also.
Right.
And also, we were hoping that it sort of amortizes our costs, because we sort of spent a little money before the movie actually began shooting, and building a set and all during the COVID. And the second wave came, and so
Right.
a lot of money was spent, which is not in the film. You don't
Right.
see it on screen. So I thought this will help that and also fulfill. So two birds with one stone, basically.
But is it exactly identical, or there could be?
No, there are of course subtle differences, and the idiom of the two languages is different. So
Right.
there are those, but it's not plot wise. It's not. It doesn't have two different endings and all that.
Hmm.
Though I mean, a lot of people think that I usually keep quiet, but now that the film is out, I'm not kind of fueling those kind of curiosities. But
Yeah.
it's largely the same story.
Yeah,
But
I'd
there
like
are
to watch it in
differences.
both. I speak Tamil as well, so I'll watch it in both languages because anyway, your
Mm.
films have a little, yeah, like the participation is there, so you'd want to be also
And,
guessing.
I mean, a lot of people told me they watch it again just to check and all that. So great.
Also, in one of the interviews, I think Katrina's mentioned that she's the backstory is something like a homework you'd asked to give her. You'd given her. So tell me about that.
See, what happened is, how do you prepare an actor for a role? So I mean, with Vijay, it was different. He used to talks a lot, and I'm also practicing, improving my Tamil, talking to him, listening to
Right.
him actually.
Yeah.
So we used to talk in Tamil, but with her, I just told her, okay, this is a character, it's a one night story.
Mm.
So there is nothing we are presenting, there's no earlier life of hers we are presenting. So
Yeah.
I said, okay, what you're doing, people are it's on its face value. I mean, you may be telling me are you telling me a lie, or are you telling me the truth, or are you really crying or not, and all that. So I said, you just make your own story for till this point. What would the person's life have been, and why is she doing what she's doing, and
Mm-hmm.
why is she reacting to this in certain manner? So it was something to sort of involve and engage her as
Can
an
you share
actor.
what she said?
Oh, she wrote a lot of notes, and it was very useful. I don't have anything to share right now, because some of it was really, I mean, it's there in the film.
Okay.
You'll see when you watch K, I mean, how
Right.
well she's done it.
Also, the poster of the film looks like one of those, those things that we get outside railway stations, those racy Hindi crime thriller reads. The
Right,
poster is
right. The
designed exactly like that.
unit the background.
Yeah,
No,
all
post.
those.
I am actually, yeah, I love film posters. I collect film posters, and it's my sort of one of my desires was to design a poster, a retro kind of poster. And these are actually, I tried one thing here. Since there's a Tamil version and a Hindi version, I gave it to two different designers,
Okay,
two different briefs. So what
right.
you're seeing behind is one of the Tamil
Hindi.
posters
Tamil
done
poster,
by
okay.
Gopi Prasanna. The other one will be online somewhere. I don't have it here. That's the Hindi
Okay.
poster, which is like a very 80s, 70s Hindi movie poster,
Right.
And
Right.
regarding those books, those the railway station pulp paperbacks and unit paperbacks, I mean, I just love that world. So,
Okay. Okay. Can you tell me the three difference? I mean, these three words ka difference: shock, surprise, and suspense, and examples from the films that we all know. Shock,
shock, surprise.
surprise, suspense. The difference.
So I'll tell you shock and suspense. That's the easy one because
Hmm.
Hitchcock had in his book, not Truffaut Hitchcock, that interview book, he had mentioned very clearly, and it's there in one of his early films. It's there in, I think, Blackmail. Not Blackmail, Sabotage. Sabotage, there's a scene where he says, now suppose there's a bomb in a bus and the
Hmm.
audience sees the bomb and
Hmm.
they know the bomb is hidden under a seat. Then when your main character or whoever it is enters and sits in that the bomb is ticking and we know it's going to go off in maybe 20 minutes. But that
Right.
20 minutes, the person sitting there doesn't know that. And we are tense for that person. We want them to get up and go, or we hope that their stop comes and all that. So that is suspense because you're constantly rooting for that character.
Yes.
Whereas
Yes.
shock and surprise would be where we don't know about the bomb. And
Right.
the person is sitting there and
Suddenly it
suddenly
happens. Hmm.
that's a shock, there's a surprise, that kind of a thing. So
Hmm.
that's the, I mean, essential sort of like it's not me who's saying this is Hitchcock's definition, and I think it completely answers that. I mean, it makes it clear for us, what is shock and what is suspense. So in this film also, I would say there's a lot of, you're just waiting. Okay, now I think this is going to happen. Like you said, you're the viewers making up their own story, the script alongside.
Right. So so there's also art very strongly there. Like in this one, there is origami. So
Right. Huh?
is art part of your crime thriller series? Is there
Well,
an
actually,
element that you like to add?
Uh, no, all these are little things we do. I mean, it could have been something else in some other movie, but origami, this paper swans he makes play a fairly vital role in
Hmm.
the film at some point.
Okay.
So when we were scripting it, it came when it started, and then when you're scripting it, you just find okay, this can be beautifully used here as an indication of something, and so on. So yeah, I mean, I do love these little. I mean, this can also be a red herring. I mean, there's also a teddy bear. There's also
Yes.
a doll which has been mutilated and so on. When you see the
Hmm.
film, you'll know all that. So all these things have a reason to be there. They're not just there for the heck of
So
it.
you also have all of these in other films as well, right? As different
No,
elements.
we have different things in different movies. It's not. I mean,
Not the
Andhadhun, I don't
same,
know.
but some some
Yeah,
objects.
yeah. That's the fun of. I think when we are scripting it, these things come up and they usually work.
Also, it's also very, I mean, the earlier films I'm talking about, there's a lot of psychoanalysis on play where there's Freudian slips coming into characters' dialogues where they unconsciously, subconsciously use words uh, which are related to their lives.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know whether you're like there's an exam. There's Ek Hasina Thi had that's my first film that had a game where these guys say, okay, okay, let's both. I'll ask you a question. You tell me. You have to answer with a lie.
Hmm.
So, but even the lie, you can reveal yourself. So it's things
Right,
like that which make a scene exciting or different.
right. So the playings of the mind are a very important part of all your cinema. There's a lot of mind games happening.
I
So
mean, with the viewer a
with the
lot,
viewer,
and
of course.
with
Yeah.
the viewer through the characters.
Right. Also, in the last 20 years of your career, how do you think crime thrillers have changed in Indian cinema?
Crime thrillers have changed in Indian cinema. Wow, I never thought of it like that because the ones I have made, I just make sure that I don't repeat myself. And
Hmm.
the genre is such that it is so wide. They can have so many kinds of themes in it.
Hmm.
So far, I think my films are not, they are not realistic films. I mean, these things don't happen in real life. That's what I
Right.
mean
They happen
by,
in your world that you
yeah,
created.
yeah. So there's a kind of it's a world which we try to create and it's relatable, but it's not real in the sense of I'm going and showing you reality. Not
Right.
yet.
Also, the women characters in your films are extremely empowered in a and also in a very dark sense of the term. No one has seen Tabu in the role, and when I interviewed her, she told me this is the darkest role I ever played in my life, and in such a casual way. And it's not even with the bang and a drama that she's announced like that. It's a very casual, especially when she throws the lady.
Yeah.
So there's this casualness about crime, which is also very
Yeah, but I mean, I see Andhadhun, Tabu's character Andhadhun as a, I see the film as a black comedy actually. So it is like,
Right.
there is, I mean, nobody would do this in real life or this kind of thing. People do worse things. That's another matter.
Yeah.
But
Right.
yeah. But here is more like I mean, I think what happens when you watch that scene, you're shocked, but you're also
Yes.
laughing. This combination of emotion is something that really, not
Because
that I
she's
stuck, but
unfazed. She doesn't, there's no fear on
yeah,
her face. So
right, yeah,
that's
yeah,
the fun part of, I mean, that's where probably the humor comes from.
yeah.
Also, your next film, tell me about it. That's almost sounding like a biopic, uh, not a biopic.
Well, I don't like the word. I mean, what I mean by biopic, it's not like an Amar Chitra Katha version of a
Right.
person's life. It's
Yeah, yeah.
actually, we are taking a slice of history,
Hmm.
and I was attracted to the something in that story which was very different from what I've done. It's actually me getting out of a comfort zone, so to say. It
Mm-hmm.
will challenge me, and it's a war film. I have not done such something with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a new boy, Agastya. He is that's
Yes.
his feature film debut. It will be. And I've got Dharmender, who's one of my favorite actors, like of all these
Over the
decades.
years.
So it's a film I'm looking for. I've already started shooting. I've done about one schedule I've finished.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the first time in my life that before the other movie released, I've already shot another, at least one third of another movie. So I
Okay.
hope I continue to that.
So tell us about Agastya, who's right now quite popular everywhere with after his first film, after his debut.
So I actually met Agastya more than a year back when he had not yet started shooting for Archie's.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted initially this role in the keys was supposed to be played by Varun Dhawan.
Okay.
Then, thanks to the pandemic, what happened is we lost about 3, 4 years. So everything we had done so far, other than the script, of course, the script was the same.
Mm-hmm.
We had to redo everything. I mean, so I felt, and I had a chat with Varun on that, and I told him, like, I mean, it's called Ikkis, which is 21. It's about the
Mm-hmm.
youngest Pallavi Chakra awardee in India.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, yeah, before you complete, I'll tell you, I am not right now, I am not the right age for it. So, yeah, yeah, I completely understand. So, I was looking for a new boy. And
Mm-hmm.
that's when the producer introduced me to Agastya. And I've never seen him before. I've never, not even pictures. Some guy has come, and I opened the door and he was sitting there. And I got a good feel from him. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't even tell him too much about the story. I just chatted with him. And he said he's going to start Archie's. I said, great. By the time I finished my movie, you'd also finished yours. In fact, they both released actually within a month of each other. Archie's came
Mm-hmm.
last month and we are this month.
Okay.
And yeah, and we have started work with him in terms of trainings and all that. And now from, I think, February onwards, our schedule starts with him.
Okay, fabulous. So
He's
tell me about
good.
Vijay Sethupath's casting first and the and your experience working with him and how did he adapt to a Hindi film? Of course, he's done series in the past, but a film like this.
Actually, again with Vijay, we sort of I narrated the story to him during the pandemic, and he loved it. Before
Mm-hmm.
that, in 19, I had met him by chance in Melbourne, where he was getting an award for Super Deluxe,
Mm-hmm.
and Tabu was getting an award for Andhadhun.
Ah.
So I was there. The films are being screened also, and so I happened to meet Vijay, and I have seen some of his early Tamil films, and I've seen all the Vikram Veda and Super
Mm.
Deluxe, of course, which is made by a friend of mine, Kumar Raja. So I was still toying with who's the guy for my film. I had not
Mm.
yet cast the guy. I had got Katrina, but I had not yet cast the male lead.
Male lead.
And I wanted a combination that works. It's not like one, it has to be, oh, these two, what an oddball combination. So
Yeah,
that thought
yeah.
came to me. And I asked Vijay, like, do you speak Hindi? He said, yeah, 3 saal Dubai mein reh chuka hu.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, so then I said, great. And then I thought I used to give this combination to my team and they'll all get excited simply because, they've never got
Yeah,
excited with any other combo I did. Hey, this
right.
is great. And I said, okay, this can be the sort of something unique and USP sort of thing of this film. And
Mm.
I'm luckily, I mean, they were, of course, both of them together were fab. And luckily, the audiences say there is chemistry and they like it. When you see it, you judge for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Great.
And
So
as an
I'm
actor, if
looking
you
forward. Yeah, I'm looking forward
yeah,
to watching the film, and I'm sure a lot of people, there are already reviews out there, and people have liked it too. So thank you very much for speaking to me, and hope to see you in
thank
Dubai
you.
sometime soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
And thank you. And please watch it from the beginning because it's like, it's
I